Oh, hello there. Welcome to Frost Crafting with Velkhana. Firstly, you're going to want to take a living creature and freeze it completely solid. Now, don't worry, this can take a bit of time, so here's an Agnosom I prepared earlier. Next, what you're going to want to do is smash it to pieces. Congratulations, you're a murderer.
Hello, my fellow hunters. I hope Title Update 4 is treating you well so far, because it's a good one. Not only is Velkhana and Risen Valstrax two ridiculously cool hunts, literally in Velkhana's case, and in Valstrax's case, I guess to be fair, the hunt is more along the lines of why? But, you know, both fun in their own way. But what really is the standout star to me this time around is a certain armor skill by the name of Frostcraft. Of course, not new. We had it in Iceborne, where it was, once again, Velkhana's signature skill, and it remains so. But how exactly does it work? What changes have been made to it from Iceborne to Sunbreak? And, of course, the ultimate question, is it good? Is it worth using? I mean, the short answer here is yes, it's ridiculously powerful. Oh my god, if you could at all use it, you probably want to use it. But I want to give you the specifics, the numbers, because if there's one thing everybody loves, it's cold, hard maths. What? Okay, let's get some of the facts out of the way. Level 1 of Frostcraft is a 5% damage buff, and the damage buff is both to raw and element, so that makes it usable for, well, everything. Level 2 is a 20% damage buff, and level 3 is a 30% damage buff. Not only does this line up with Iceborne, it's also quite easily provable. My 293 normal hit goes to 307 with level 1, a 5% buff. It goes to 351 with level 2, a 20% buff, and 381 with level 3, a 30% buff. That's easy enough, and already you might be like, it's a 30% pure damage buff at the business end? Okay, where do I sign up? But there's a lot more to talk about here, because this skill really is an all or nothing type situation. Because level 1 and level 2 are kinda terrible. So, level 1 then, you only get the itty little bitty tiny bit of Frostcraft, but the thing is, you only get the 5% buff, which is the smallest buff, for the very first attack after drawing your weapon. Just having your weapon drawn doesn't drain the bar, and if you attack and miss, the bar won't drain either, unless you're a ranged weapon, in which case it will. Haha, sucks to be ranged. No, but for real, it has to be this way, otherwise you could abuse Frostcraft and the no-miss penalty on range quite a lot, I imagine. So then you hit the monster, and you'd get a 5% bonus damage to the very first hit. Now you've dropped underneath level 1 of the bar, you're in the dead zone, it's gone kind of dull-coloured, you're not doing any more bonus damage until you sheath and let it restore. Ergo, level 1 Frostcraft is utter garbage, because it barely does anything for you. Level 2 doesn't fare much better. When you have level 2 on, you now have a second segment of bar. This is great, and it's worth 20% damage, or at least the very first attack after unsheathing is. Because in order to get the 20% damage buff, both bars have to be completely full. Which means that you hit once for plus 20%, then you have a bit of bar left on plus 5%, then once again you drop to the desaturated sadness zone. So again, you only really get one big boosted hit, and then a couple little boosted hits, and then you're kinda done. So given that Velkhana's Frostcraft pieces aren't actually that good, it's not really worth it. So as I was saying, this is a level 0 or level 3 only skill for most weapons and builds. At level 3 then, you don't just get the third segment, you get the bonus 4th, and this is where it gets good, because every hit while you are in that bonus 4th, i.e. the bar is greater than the first 3 segments, is plus 30% damage. And if you want an example of how impactful that is, for us greatsworders, if you strong arm counter after drawing, which is easy enough to do without hitting the monster with anything first, well then you only hit twice, the true charge, the little hit, then the big hit. The little hit isn't enough to drain that 4th stage, which means your big hit is getting a plus 30% damage buff. That wasn't possible in Iceborne, but Frostcraft was still fantastic for Greatsword in Iceborne because of the plus 20% bar. So think about how good it is now. Yes, this applies to all your weapons. Your dual blades can draw into a demon mode, do a full flurry with plus 30%. Your long swords, yes, your special sheaths will restore the bar, and of course get that big boost every time you do. And basically any weapon that can comfortably do its big impactful hits within a short amount of hits after unsheathing is going to get a lot out of level 3 here. How it actually works in terms of draining the bar is it's based on the motion value of your attack. So every attack, as you may or may not know, has a motion value attached to it. So for example, with the Greatsword's True Charge, it's something like 2.64 times your weapon damage. So that's a really high motion value, so a True Charge chunks down the Frostcraft bar, whereas a Dual Blade's piddly little slap has a motion value of like 0.1, so it barely touches it, meaning this is universally usable for all weapons. You just have to be smart about what attacks you use during which parts of the Frostbar bar before you sheath and restore it. So, let me just kind of graphically represent everything I just told you. This is what it looks like. So level 1, level 2, level 3, that is how much bar you have, and then this is how much damage you get for connecting a hit while the bar is above the threshold. So the very end nub, any attacks there, 30%, the third nub, 20%, and then the second one, 5%, and the first one, precious little. So that said then, how long does it actually take to fully refill at level 4? Well, it takes 5 seconds. Now, the Velkhana weapons do increase the speed of that if you're using them with the armor set from 5 seconds to 4 seconds. Which, 20% faster, that's not too bad. This is what it looks like both happening at the same time, so you can kind of appreciably see it there. That's not too bad. And really, past that, there isn't too much to know about the skill. The armor pieces themselves, as I mentioned, are individually not great, but when you understand that played correctly, all 3 of them combined equal a plus 30% damage to your major damage moves. That is more value than you will get from essentially any other pieces of armor in the game. And again, it's both raw and element, so that is really something to think about here. And in fairness, they do have a lot of slots. Getting max quick sheath, crit draw, and of course focus is better or worse for some. Of course, it's quite the longsword stream. Greatsword's doing a great job too here as well. But that said, even something like Elemental Dual Blades is going to benefit from running in and out with Frostcraft between sheaths. Now, you don't have to sheath to restore your bar. It will very slowly come back just from you not attacking and holding your weapon out, but not only is this comically slow, what kind of situation are you going to be in where you're actually doing this? Maybe like turtling on the lance for ages? Corner horning for ages? I don't really know why you'd want this feature, but technically it will restore outside of being sheathed eventually. That is kind of really where it is. Level 3 is magnificent, level 2 is and level 1 is utter trash. 5%, 20%, 30% damage respectively, and you're getting a much bigger bar to play with at level 3. Basically, use it at level 3. It restores fairly quickly in 4 or 5 seconds, depending on if you're using a Velkhana weapon or not. And it supports a playstyle where you want to run up to the monster and very economically, in as minimal hits as possible, get to your hardest hitting, most impactful abilities. As long as you can connect your, well, again, biggest hitting, most impactful abilities with the monster while you are still in either segments 3 and 4, then this skill is going to be magnificent for you, and that is something only you can know with your, how familiar you are with your main weapon. Again, for us greatswords, this is a dream come true, because every strong arm is just going to be boosted by 30% now, which is hilarious damage. Just you wait for the new best greatsword set. Oh my god, we are gods now! Anyway, I hope you have found that useful, as I realize the actual description of the skill isn't the most, well, informative thing in the world, as it tends not to be in Monster Hunter, and I hope you can now go out and Frostcraft with confidence. For now then, like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more, consider supporting a feature of the channel on Patreon down below, and look forward to all of our other title update 4 videos, guides, and good stuff in the coming hours and days. Goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.